And hi guys, welcome back to Gary Grigsby War in the East. We are slowly finishing our German campaign in 1941. It's turn 10, I'm Marauder, and welcome back to my series. Last video we have dealt a significant blow to the Soviet army. We have both cut off Leningrad, occupying this single hex here, containing the port, and also here around Moscow we have finished the encirclement, pocketing some of the units, but the units are not that important. The most important thing is the city itself, of course. And this episode will be like mopping up operations, my ferocious clicking of the infantry units and pushing them forward and forward into the Soviet Union. One more thing before we start with the southern portion of the map is that I've put here a HQ close to the enemy, and also I've spotted that they have put only a security formation inside Moscow, so we can easily, I hope that's gonna be easy, but we can take the hex. Probably. Will it work? Yeah, barely, but it did work. Okay, the population evacuates. Yeah. We can place a division here and a division here. So we have now captured both of the city hexes. The third one remains. It's better to do that this turn, because next turn they can put some more infantry divisions and it would be harder to capture the hex, even though it's gonna be surrounded. Yeah, this way it's easier. We have here some HQs, we can bring them back so the enemy won't like make any trouble around here, bumping our HQs back and forth. What else is left? We can put some security regiments. We can put some security regiments in Vyazma and in Smolensk. We can bring some infantry divisions forward. The most important thing is, of course, the rail repair. We are going out here-ish and to Smolensk. The other division will go next turn south. It's not a division; it's a core level unit. We'll go south, and the first one will go east here to Moscow. What I was thinking is it probably is better to split the FBD here near Vitebsk and then go south and then southeast. Because the sooner you split the formations, the more railroad you cover. Because if they go on both of them on one railroad, it's slower. Yeah, we can push the HQs and the air bases. I want to show you a small little trick with the air base. It's probably better to show it now. I've read it on the forums. It's not my trick. I'm only relaying it to my viewers, and it's the last, the newest trend in playing Wehrmacht. It's doing this little trick that you check the reinforcements withdrawal schedule, and you here click show air units, because you start with withdrawals and reinforcements of many units. Here are the land units. If you click here, it says air units. So you see what squadrons will be withdrawn, or what squadrons will arrive to the front lines. Here we can see the third third squadron of Kampfgruppe 2, the second Kampfgruppe. So it's a Kampfgruppe is I think is a wing. It's the same size of a wing of the Anglo-Saxon nomenclature, and here is it's Geschwader, I think. So it's a third Geschwader of Kampfgruppe 2. No, it's a Kampfgeschwader 2, so it's a bomber wing and the third squadron of this wing. I think. Hopefully, I'm not making shit up right now. Yeah, but we need to find this unit on the map. I've pre-searched it, and it's here in 13th Luftwaffe airbase, but you can manually search it in air groups, units, HQs, air groups, and you have to search the name and find the squadron. You can see it here. It's a third Geschwader. So we know that this squadron will be withdrawn to the Reich. Yeah, to the it's not withdrawing to the reserve, but it's withdrawn completely from the game. So we can here find this button aircraft change. It says auto, but we can change it to manual, and we can change it to the oldest plane possible from the list. If you search, for example, the Junkers 86 is an old plane. It's an old plane, and we don't need it. We don't use it in the front lines, and it's obsolete. So we, for 1 AP, it costs AP. We change to this old plane. We leave the aircraft change to manual, and we not allow any reinforcements. So this squadron will now withdraw, but it will withdraw with the old planes, not with the new planes that it was using earlier. So we conserve the new planes. The new planes are still available for other squadrons to use, and if we lose some, they're available for replacements. And this way, for doing so for each of the squadrons withdrawing, there are actually a lot of withdrawing squadrons for Axis for some reason. Yeah, it's historical, I guess. And because the planes will be ready for defending the Reich against Allied carpet bombing, maybe. But in 1941, I don't really know. Maybe some of them are being transferred to North Africa to aid Rommel, or I don't know, whatever else reason. Yeah, or maybe they were historically destroyed or something like this. And yeah, this is the small little trick that allows you to save your most modern and most advanced planes, instead sending the squadrons back to Reich with the oldest and crappiest planes in stock. Well, I don't think the High Command would approve such a change. Imagine that the people in the Stab, in the High Command, thinking about, we need more bombers for our North Africa campaign. Can we get some of them from the East Front? Yes, of course. But okay, so bring us back some Junkers 88, one of the newest planes, and the best bombers available. And they receive the pilots from the squadron, but on the oldest, crappiest, and broken down planes in stock, and they can't really send it to North Africa because they are not good enough. Yeah, that's a nice joke that the commander of the Eastern Front make to his Oberkommando, this Wehrmacht leaders, and Hitler himself maybe. I don't know if Hitler bobbled with with planes. He was obsessed with tanks and all those land divisions, but I don't know if he cared about plane squadrons. Yeah, we can now move some of the foot formations around. We can try to do a small little encirclement here, or not. Can leave this division here. We can push the green division a bit. Yeah, but it's just the encirclement is not really possible, I think. It's just for fun. You can secure Bryansk. You can secure Bryansk for the Wehrmacht, and we slowly move east. Don't forget to keep a somewhat contiguous front line. There's probably an infantry formation in Orel, so there's no need to storm it from the front. We of course use the encirclement. I wonder if they left Kursk empty. Let's see. No, there are some formations in Kursk, so we will encircle it next turn and then finish it up later. Yeah, but this is not a challenge I would like to show you, because it's simply boring and mechanical, and nothing happens with some HQs. Yeah, but I should probably occupy the city first, but I risked it. It paid off. Come on, division. You can capture some some fuel and supplies. For the infantry division, the supplies are actually more important. If you take a look here, they have only 30% of their supply stocks available, so they lose some of the combat value and probably some of their movement points as well. And the irritating sound of the soldiers marching is playing over and over again. Yeah, about the thing that I've mentioned before, the game mechanics, how actually it does reflect history. I've mentioned that, for example, there are units that were historically destroyed in the respective period of time. For example, a air squadron, or a infantry division, or a panzer division. The most notable example are the formations destroyed in Stalingrad in the winter of 1942 and 1943, yeah, the beginning of the year. And can't we just make an encirclement here? I don't think so. Yeah, we can. Good. And the game reflects that by respecting all the destroyed units and treating them as they were withdrawn for the front. So you lose them anyways. Yeah, if you are playing, it applies only to the German side. So you lose the units anyway, even if they are in perfect condition. Yeah, they are on the front, performing important duties and so on. But Hitler, the real Hitler, lost the division, so you have to lose them also. But on the other hand, you get all the replacements that would probably that probably won't be there if you haven't lost the division. For example, there were some divisions formed after the Stalingrad disaster that were meant to replace the divisions lost there. And if there was no Stalingrad disaster, then probably those divisions wouldn't be formed. And it's a way of reflecting history. It's strange. I don't feel it. I know it sounds fair. Yeah, you lose some of them, but then you regain some others. But it creates a strange and chaotic flow of play. So you have to be. You of course know which divisions will be withdrawn and which divisions would arrive, but it plays kind of strangely. And on the other hand, well, not on the other hand, but additionally, there are those morale changes to the whole army. We basically change the morale. I can show you the event log maybe on the bottom of the log is game parameters and current national morale. And you can see here Germans are 75 and there is no the Soviets are 45. So the basic morale is the base morale is 45. For us it's 75. But it changes in time, in different years, and at the end the German morale falls to 45, I think, and the Soviet rises to 70 or 60 or something like this. And it's a arbitrary mechanic to simulate the history. That's Germany was losing the war and employing worse and worse quality of recruits, yeah. So, and the quality of units was falling. It's also a strange mechanics because sometimes it may happen that the Germans in 1944, for example, when the morale starts falling in game, they are also in game, but they are conquering, I don't know, the eastern side of the Soviet Union, and they're finishing the war as victors. But you lose the morale. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, it's strange, and I don't think I agree with the mechanics to be applied something like this, and also the general usage of the national morale as a huge lever to influence the flow of the game. So you have here a lot of tiny instruments. Each division has every single machine gun, rifle squad, anti-tank gun listed, but then all that doesn't matter. All you have to change for the game to play quasi-historically is to fix this number. You change this number and the game plays completely different. And also the name morale is quite misleading because it influences this statistics here. It says morale 78, the national morale is 75, so the division will gradually change its own morale to match the national morale. So in this example, it will decrease the unit morale to slowly arrive at 75. Yeah, but it's hard to call it immoral because why is the national morale of German units falling during the war? Especially in 1945, when they were losing, but the Soviets were at the gates of the Reich, of the Germany proper, and the Germans were fighting around Königsberg and threatening Berlin and Danzig, Breslau, the traditional German cities, yeah, Stettin, and so on. And soldiers were not losing. In reality, the soldiers were not losing morale. They were actually fighting ferociously to defend their homes. And if you check with any military historian or practitioner of contemporary military service, they will say that they will tell you that that soldiers fight much better on their own soil, defending their homes, than abroad, so away from home. But the game needs mechanics to make all the German formations bad and the Soviet formations good, so they win the war. Yeah, because the war needs to end around Berlin in 1945. And yeah, it's calling the, I don't know if I'm explaining it clearly enough, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. We'll bring the panzer formations back a bit, and we'll leave the core here, because if you can see, we are quite close to Stalingrad. We can leave the this one panzer core here. Let's put the airbase. Let's put the airbase around and try to transport some fuel to it. Is it possible? It's too far, probably. Yeah. It's too far. Maybe later. But if they stay here, they should get some of the fuel. We can also try no HQ builder possible. Yeah, but coming back to the morale issue, the Germans in the formations fighting around Berlin in 1945, they had quite high morale. Nobody would ever surrender to the Soviets willingly, because everybody knew that he will not come home in one piece. After fighting a total war in Soviet Russia, the Soviets will never show mercy to the German soldiers, especially the SS, but every single German soldier. So they fought really hard, and the morale remained high up to the very end of the war. But yeah, in the game it's called morale, so the overall quality of units is called morale. I don't know why. It's a strange naming, yeah, because besides morale, you have here the number of morale. Yeah, besides morale, what's also important, if you find a well, any division, for example, an infantry division, you can see here one exemplary division. Besides morale, what's very important is also the experience. And the experience, for some reason, is not shown on the unit card if you click it. It's only shown here in the commander's report. But it also defines the capability of the unit and how well it fights. And maybe that's a better lever to pull to tone down the German formations, because that is actually historical. The quality of recruits were falling throughout the war, and especially in the last years of the war, in 1945, end of 1944, the Germans could not find any more men able to fight, so they employed some third or fourth line recruits to fill the divisions that were sustaining heavy losses. And the German panzer forces were in really good shape at the end of the war, relatively, yeah. But the infantry force was straight away terrible and appalling, and not. It was a real shadow of its former self. Yeah. So that is my rant about the reality and the historical adequaticity. I don't know if it's a word. If it's history adequate, if the game reflects the history well enough, I would think about some more solutions to this problem, especially for the morale issue. But yeah, the devs should think about it too, especially that the game, the sequel to this game is coming up soon, or soon meaning in a year or two. So at least two will be available in some time. They are developing it, beta testing or alpha testing it right now, and they might do something about this strange morale issue. Because if they can control every single squad, why don't they make them the experience of the squads fall, for example, when you are recruiting the new squads or something like this. That's my first idea. And then when you receive replacements, they will water down, or how do you say it? So they will dissolve the crack troops with the very high veterancy. They will dissolve it in the sea of very low quality, low experience reinforcements. Yeah. And the overall strength of the unit will go down. But if you are actually winning in the campaign, you are occupying Moscow and fighting in Kazan and Ulyanovsk in 1944 and 1945, then you shouldn't actually get the morale down, because the German Reich is victorious and will never ever think about surrendering. Unless atom bomb by the Americans, but that's a different story and that's a different discussion. Okay, so that's enough for me talking. I've moved all the divisions around. I can put some of the HQs, but I probably won't pay much more attention to the game. It is to be like 100% efficient and effective for my forces here. We will probably end the turn right now. We'll see what happens, and last turn with cleaning up Moscow and Leningrad will be the last turn of the campaign. I will leave the conquering of Stalingrad, and I don't know if we will be able to reach it in one turn. We'll see. And the Voronezh. Because it's just boring. I don't want to show you flogging of a dead horse. Let's end the turn. I'm not bringing up any reinforcements or anything like this. You don't want me. I don't want you watching me moving single infantry divisions 5 hex forward each turn, and after 5 turns we say, yeah, we have captured Voronezh, yeah, great achievement, and there is 2 Soviet divisions inside. Okay, we'll see if the Soviets can mount any effective counterattack around Moscow. Or maybe in Leningrad, but I think that our forces around Leningrad are strong enough to not be pushed back. With the idea of some of the units lost and historically, and also withdrawn from the game at the same time period. My idea is that there should be a pool of divisions that are given to you as reinforcements if you lose, for example, a panzer division or 2 infantry divisions. So it's a simulated action. What the German High Command did in the face of a surrendering, for example, around Stalingrad. So we know that they raised 3 more panzer divisions. For example, I don't remember correctly, but something around about this. They've raised those panzer divisions. So if we cut off we erase the situation that those 2 specific panzer divisions are being withdrawn at the time of March 1943. But instead, we say if ever you lose 2 panzer divisions in an encirclement, they surrender. They're not shattered or withdrawn or something like this. They surrender in an encirclement. Then you get those divisions back, and also the German High Command forms 2 additional divisions, and they are in this reserve pool, for example, of German formations to be formed. And if you never ever lose those those panzer divisions in encirclement, then you don't get them, for example, or you get them but much later, for example, a year later. It's less historical maybe, but at the same time more historical, because withdrawing perfectly good divisions from the front line because Hitler from alternate reality lost them is kind of strange. It's also not historical, yeah, and it affects the gameplay. Okay, our HQ got bumped, unfortunately. I have also not flown any through to the divisions. Too bad. Yeah, they are counterattacking it. So. Yeah, but I'm talking about all this. They're routed. Too bad. And it's a full division. And I'm talking about all these gameplay issues. At least I think these are gameplay issues. Just to make you comment your own point of view, how the game would be designed if you were in charge, for example. So there are 2 points of content: the historical withdrawing of units. I hear only talk about the destroyed units, well, they're historically destroyed but in-game withdrawn, but not about the historically withdrawn units, for example, to combat the Allied invasion of Italy or invasion of Normandy, that historically in-game would also occur, and regardless of the situation of the Eastern Front, you would have to give some of the units back to the High Command. These are modeled perfectly here. And I only rant about the situation when you withdraw units due to the combat losses, the historical combat losses, but not in-game combat losses. And also the issue of the national morale swings. They are trying to break out of the encirclement, and they can only delay it for so long. Because adding to the situation about the withdrawing units is also that when you lose a division or a panzer division or any German formation, you still get it back. You will still get it back in the western, most western part of the map, like in Germany, but it's full and it's empty, and it's slowly being refilled by the fresh reinforcements from your pool. So you actually pay the price, and this historical situation is quite mirrored. Yeah, in Stalingrad, the 2 divisions surrendered, or 3 divisions, or whatever. I mean, the Panzer divisions, yeah, and they were reformed. Yeah, so they came back empty and had to be refilled from scratch. Yeah, started from scratch. And the situation here is well modeled in game. If you lose the Panzer division around Leningrad or around Moscow or around I don't know, somewhere else, then you still get it back. Okay, there's that. Here's the screen. The Soviet lost only 2 million men. It's not it's not a very high number, at least for now. Yeah, let's see. Now all those formations are in the red, so they are encircled and can be made to surrender. Around Moscow as well, the same story. The Soviets couldn't punch through. Let's see how does the Stalingrad situation look. We didn't receive much more fuel. We can only go. Could go through here. Let's see. We have American. Yeah, this. We could go like this. What I want to know is only goes about this long to the Stalingrad. Okay. Okay. Thanks guys for watching. That's the end of today's episode. Tomorrow will be next, for example, for what I've known, for what I'm actually planning. And yeah, thanks for being with me, thanks for watching, and thanks for comments. There is some food for your thought in this episode. Please say what ideas do you have. Thanks for the constant support and for nice comments. Bye guys, bye.